Hello students, let us see about bipolar junction transistor, which is simply known as BJT. These transistor made a tremendous changes in these eras. Like the invention of transistor led to the invention of many other semiconductor devices, including integrated circuits. So where you will find this transistor? So if you have a phone, it means that you have in your hand, you are having billions of transistors. If you have a laptop, in that you will find billions of transistors. So nowadays the technology is revolving around your transistor only. A transistor is a basic unit in all semiconductor devices. So the invention of this transistor led to invention of many other semiconductor devices, including integrated circuits, and due to these integrated circuits, the modern day computers and other electronic gadgets are possible. So we are having day to day, there is a advanced computers, advanced mobile phones, and advanced tablets are available, and everyone is expecting new features, and everyone is concentrating on speed also. And I need this much of internet speed, I need clarity of voice. So those are all possible by increasing number of transistors on a single chip. So nowadays we'll find on a single chip billions of transistors which are mounted on a single chip with 20 nanometer technology. The bipolar transistor or BJT is a three-terminal semiconductor device. So before going to the transistor, already we have seen about the diode. Diode is also a semiconductor device, but it is having only two regions and with one junction. But while coming to the bipolar junction transistor, it is having three regions and two junctions. These BJT acts as a conductor or insulator based on the applied input signal. And due to this property, the transistor can be used as a switch in a digital electronic circuits or as an amplifier in analog electronics. It means that this BJT finds application in digital electronics and analog electronics. In the analog electronics as an amplifier. So what do you mean by amplifier? Like when you speak in a mic, so you will get amplified output. So if you want to get louder voice, we use amplifier. So in the analog electronics, we use a transistor as an amplifier, and in the digital electronics, we use a transistor. In the digital electronics, the basic simple is a logic gate. We are having NAND gate, NOR gate, OR gate. So according to their truth table, so the output will be delivered. So the truth table is implemented with the help of these transistors only. Flip-flops, we'll find flip-flops in the digital electronics. So by using the two BJTs, it is possible to construct a flip-flop. It is a memory element. Nowadays in the BJTs, in the transistors, we are having two types: bipolar junction transistor and field effect transistors. Nowadays field effect transistors are widely used in electronic applications, but still these BJTs are quite extensively used, and anyone who is interested in electronics should have some basic knowledge of this device, because BJT is a very basic fundamental for any electronic engineering. Let us come to in detail about the BJT. So this is called as a BJT symbol. In the BJT, according to the construction, we have two types of transistors, that is NPN transistor and PNP transistor. So in this figure I have shown a NPN transistor. So if you observe, here we are having three regions, N, P, N. In between the two N regions, one P region is sandwiched. So by sandwiching one region between the two N regions, you will get NPN transistor. So this is a basic structure and this is a symbol for PNP transistor. This indicates your conventional current flow. This indicates your conventional current flow. So BJT, let us go with the BJT construction and internal structure. So in this, here we are having, in the three regions, we are having three terminals: emitter terminal, base terminal and collector terminal. Emitter terminal, the name itself signifies that it emits the carriers, and collector terminal, this is the region which collects the carriers which are exhibited or which are coming from emitter. Let us see the basic construction of this BJT and internal structure. A bipolar junction transistor has three doped regions. Already we have seen what is the doping. So doping is used to increase the conductivity of a semiconductor. In the diode we have seen a doping is, that is a with the trivalent impurities with the pentavalent impurities. Like for pentavalent impurities we have a phosphorus arsenic. By using that we can dope a intrinsic semiconductor that becomes an extrinsic semiconductor. If you dope a intrinsic semiconductor with the pentavalent impurities, then the resultant semiconductor becomes a n-type semiconductor, and if you dope a intrinsic semiconductor with trivalent impurities, then the resultant semiconductor becomes p-type semiconductor. In the n-type semiconductor, the majority carriers are electrons and minority carriers are holes. And in p-type semiconductor, majority carriers are holes and minority carriers are electrons. So based on the doping of these three regions, it is known as either NPN or PNP transistors. So in the case of NPN transistor, both collector and emitter regions are doped with, these collector and emitter regions are doped with pentavalent impurities, and this base region is doped with trivalent impurities. It means that in the construction we take one semiconductor slab and one region is doped with, this region is doped with pentavalent impurities, and this region is also doped with pentavalent impurities, and middle region is doped with pentavalent, that is of trivalent impurities. With the trivalent impurities will get your p-type semiconductor. So both emitter and collectors are doped with n-type impurity, while the base is doped with p-type impurity in NPN transistor. On the other hand, in PNP transistor, in the PNP transistor, emitter and collectors are doped with trivalent impurities, and this base region is doped with pentavalent impurity. So by doping like this, you will get three regions and two junctions. These two are called as junctions, and this is a symbol for your PNP transistor. The term bipolar indicates the both electrons and holes contribute the current. Let us see. Inside BJT, the two PN junctions are formed. So if you consider this half, this is a one diode, this is PN diode and this is NP diode. It means that if you observe, two diodes are sandwiched back to back connected. They are looking like two PN junction diodes are connected back to back, but practically it won't happen. So inside BJT, the two PN junctions are formed. One is between base and emitter. This is between base and emitter, one PN junction diode, and the second is between base and collector. It appears as if two back-to-back diodes are connected in series. Like this. This is one diode and this is another diode. Between emitter to base, and this is base to collector. But actually it won't behave like that, because when we connect two back-to-back diodes, then we are assuming that there is no interconnection between the two diodes, but in the case of BJT, actually there is an interconnection between the two regions. So in the internal construction of BJT, the emitter is heavily doped and the base is lightly doped and the collector is moderately doped. The doping concentration of collector region is between emitter and base region. Among the width of these regions, the base region is much narrower than other two regions. The collector region is wider than other two regions. It means that according to the doping, emitter is heavily doped and according to the width, collector is having more width as compared to others. Here we have a table that according to the width and according to the concentration. According to the width, it is narrow, base is narrow and lightly doped, and emitter is moderate. According to the width, it is moderate, but according to the doping, it is heavily doped. And while coming to the collector, it is a wide region. According to the width, it is wide, and according to the doping, it is moderate. It means that we can conclude that according to the doping, emitter is heavily doped as compared to other two regions, and according to the width, the collector is having more width as compared to other two regions. Let us come to the BJT 3 regions of operation. So in the diode, we are having diode can be operated in forward bias and reverse bias. Similar to that, the BJT can be operated in 3 regions, that is active region, cutoff region and saturation region. So depending upon the biasing is nothing but applying external voltage. Applying external voltage is nothing but your biasing. So here we are having active region, cutoff region and saturation region. So when it is said to be active region, so in the case of active region operation, emitter base junction is forward biased. So in the case of active region, this emitter base junction is forward bias. It means that if I consider PNP transistor, when it is said to be forward bias, if positive terminal positive terminal is connected to P type and negative terminal is connected to N type, that is called as forward bias. When it is said to be reverse bias, if the negative terminal is connected to P type and positive terminal is connected to N type. Opposite. The same polarities are connected. P is nothing but positive, N is nothing but your N type, negatively. Let us see the regions. So in a case of active region, emitter base junction is forward bias, while the collector base junction is reverse bias. While in the case of cutoff region, both emitter base junction and collector base junctions are reverse biased. And in the case of saturation, both emitter base and collector base junctions are forward biased. So it means that in the active region, one is that is of emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias. In the case of cutoff, both the junctions are at reverse bias, and in the case of saturation, both the junctions are at forward bias. And in the case of saturation, both the junctions are at forward bias. This is C. In the active region, emitter base junction forward bias and collector base junction is reverse biased. In the cutoff region, both the junctions are at reverse bias. In the saturation, both the junctions are at forward bias. And reverse active. So reverse to the active is emitter base junction is reverse bias and collector base junction is forward bias. So we'll know in detail like how when it is said to be a forward bias and how to we need to make the connections. So here FB stands for your forward bias and RB stands for reverse bias. In the BJT, we are having different configurations also. That is of common emitter, common base and common collector. So as mentioned earlier, when the BJT is used for the amplification of a signal, so it means that if you want to use a BJT in the analog electronics, that is if you want to use a BJT as an amplifier, you can operate in common emitter configuration or common base configuration or common collector configuration. So each is having their respective characteristics. So how the connection will be? So this is a diagram for your common emitter. It means that if you observe, the emitter is common between base and collector. This is called as common emitter. It means that input is connected between base and emitter region and output is taken from collector. So in the case of common emitter configuration, the emitter terminal is common to both input and output of the AC signal. That means that in this configuration, AC input is applied between base and emitter, while the output is measured between collector and emitter. Let us come to common base is nothing but name signifies that here the base is common. Input is applied between emitter and base and output is taken between collector and base. Next, common collector. Here the collector is common. Input is applied between your emitter and base and output is taken collector and emitter. In this configuration, base terminal is common, which is this one is common collector configuration. Then working of BJT. So this is a connection. So in the earlier I have said that we have to connect it in the emitter base junction in the forward bias. So this now I have connected one transistor in active region. What do you mean by active region? In the active region we have to connect to the source, emitter base junction in the forward bias and collector base junction in the reverse bias. Here we are having two supplies, VBB and VCC. This is your positive and this is negative, and this is positive and negative. Here we have considered NPN transistor. So this is a forward bias and this is reverse bias. So just observe here. Here this is a positive. Positive is connected to P and negative is connected to N region. It means that this is in forward bias. And let us come here. This is N. N is connected to positive. So it is said to be a reverse bias. So voltage notations for BJT. VBE. Here we have shown that VBE. VBE is nothing but your voltage between your base and emitter. That is VB minus VE. VBE is nothing but VB minus VE. And VB is nothing but voltage at base and ground. And V is nothing but voltage between emitter and ground. And VCE. VCE is a voltage between collector and emitter. This is a voltage between collector and emitter. VCE. So VCE equal to VC minus VE. Here VBB and VCC are the supply voltages. So as mentioned earlier that emitter is heavily doped and which is having large number of electrons, as in the case of NPN transistor, and in the case of PNP transistor it is having more number of holes. So as shown in the figure, when the voltage is applied between base and emitter region, that is emitter is base and emitter, then the negative voltage at the emitter. Here emitter is at the negative voltage. Here this is a NPN transistor. So majority carriers are electrons. So these electrons are repelled. It gets repelled from this negative terminal of the battery and move towards your base region. So in this region it is having two paths. So it may move forward or it may combine with the base junction. So here we are having high voltage. Here the more voltage is connected. Here we are applying this VCC is more as compared to your VBB. So whatever the number of electrons which are moving from emitter to base, only less number of electrons will combine with the base region and remaining electrons enters into the collector region. So this movement, whatever the electrons which are moving in this IE are called, the electrons in the emitter region that constitute a current IE, and whatever the electrons which are in base region, only less number of electrons are combined with the base region that constitute a small amount of current, that is IB. So once the electrons enters into the base region, there are two paths for the electrons. One is the electrons can flow forward, that is of flow towards the positive terminal of the VBB. That is nothing but, so after entering into the base region, it may go towards this VBB or it may go towards this VCC. So it can take two paths. So one is the electrons can flow towards the positive terminal VBB through the base resistor, or they can flow towards the collector region. But what happens? Once the electrons enters into the base region, they become minority charge carriers because they have entered into the P region. In the P region, electrons are the minority charge carriers and holes are the majority charge carriers. So because of low concentration of holes in the base region, this is lightly doped. So because of light doping, this base is having less number of holes as compared to your electrons which are coming from your emitter. So because of low concentration of holes in the base region and narrow base width, their probability of recombine with the holes in the base region is very low. So whatever I said that, so because of repulsion, the electrons enters into the base region. Because of lightly doping and narrow width, only less number of electrons will combine in the base region and other electrons move towards your collector region. And since those electrons acts as a minority charge carriers in the base region, they get swapped into the collector region due to the strong electric field at the collector to base junction without any recombination. Only few electrons recombine with the holes in the base region and get attracted towards your positive terminal of your VBB. So this is your VBB. So this is your VBB. So this is your, here I have taken only less number of electrons are attracted towards your VBB and more number of electrons attracted towards your VCC. Once the electrons enter the collector region, they get attracted towards your positive terminal of the battery. So once the electrons, whatever the electrons which are just cross the junction of your collector to base junction, they are attracted towards your this collector, this battery, positive terminal of the battery. And in the case of NPN transistor, the direction of flow of electrons is shown in a figure. So now the electrons flow in this direction, but conventionally current flows in opposite direction. And the direction of flow of electrons will be exactly opposite. So this arrow indicates your electron flow and this blue arrow indicates your hole flow. And the direction of here in this operation, there is a movement of both holes and electrons. That is why it is called as bipolar junction transistor. The current is due to your holes and electrons. In the case of NPN transistor, the majority of current flows through the electrons only. Let us see different currents in the transistor. So because of flow of electrons and holes, three different current establishes in the transistor. Those are all base current, collector current and emitter current. Just see, this is your base current and this is your emitter current because electrons moves towards the collector. So conventionally current flows in opposite direction. So this is your direction of IE. And electrons flow towards this positive terminal. So current automatically flows in the reverse direction. And electrons are attracted towards your VBB. So current will be in opposite direction. So let us see the relation between your three currents. Here IE is equal to, IE is IB according to the KCL. Entering current equal to sum of the leaving currents. That is at the junction all the currents are 0. Or summation of all the currents are at the junction are 0 or entering current equal to leaving current. Here IE is leaving and IB and IC are entering. So we can write according to the KCL IE is equal to IB plus IC. The base current is very negligible because the collector current is approximately equal to your emitter current. So we can write collector current equal to approximately equal to IE. That is indicated with alpha symbol. So by using this 1 and 2, what we can write? IE is equal to IB plus, in the place of IC we can write alpha into IE. So if I take IE, if I take this IE is equal to, from this what you can write, 1 minus alpha into IB, or IC equal to alpha by 1 minus alpha into IB. So here it is, from the equation 192 we can write IE is equal to IB. So in the place of IC we can write alpha into IE. So if I take this alpha IE on LHS side, you will get here 1 minus IE minus, that is of IE minus alpha into IE alpha into IE, which is equal to IB. So from this we can take IE as common. We can take IE as common and we can write 1 minus alpha which is equal to IB. So from this we can write IE is equal to IB by 1 minus alpha. So here there is a mistake. So here this is alpha by 1 minus alpha. IC equal to alpha into IE. But what is IE? IB by 1 minus alpha. So if you substitute here, IB by 1 minus alpha. So alpha by 1 minus alpha into IB. This alpha by 1 minus alpha can be replaced with beta. Beta equal to alpha by 1 minus alpha. So beta is known as current gain and typically its value varies from 20 to 400 from transistor to transistor. So far in the discussion, the current is due to minority charge carriers. The reverse saturation current is neglected. That is IB naught is neglected, reverse saturation current, because we are connecting the collector and your base junction in the reverse bias. So the reverse saturation current is very small and typically it is in the range of nanoamps or few microamps. So let us consider that current also. So as shown in the below figure, if the emitter terminal is open and only we are applying between your collector and base, we are concentrating on your collector and base, then only one current exists, that is reverse saturation current ICB0. Just see, here the collector is open. Here the collector is open and here this is your VBB and this is your VCC. We are concentrating on only collector to base junction only. So whatever the current which is flowing between your collector to base junction, that is called as ICB0. So ICB0 is a reverse saturation current between your base and collector region when emitter is open circuited, and including this reverse saturation current we can write IC equal to beta into IB plus ICB0. So instead of IE, here we are considering emitter is open, then the collector current is equal to beta IB plus ICB0. So this is your construction, and so what are till now we have seen the construction and what are all the types in the BJT and what are all the regions, in which regions we can connect. So that is nothing but we have seen what is the BJT and BJT biasing. In the next class we will see small signal amplifier, that is in the common emitter amplifier. So the operation is similar for PNP also. If I consider PNP transistor, so instead of NPN, here we have to connect PNP. So here we have to consider P, and here it is N, and here it is P. And instead of connecting like this, here you have to connect a negative terminal and your positive terminal. And instead of like this, here you have to connect a negative terminal and positive terminal. Like this we have to consider. And remaining thing is same. In this PNP, if I consider PNP transistor, then the current is due to your holes only. That is, the majority carriers are holes in the emitter region. So let us see, in the next class we will see small signal amplifier.